Ladies and gentlemen, friends, dreamers, fighters, good evening. I want to talk to you today about something many people won't say out loud. No one is your friend until you win. It sounds harsh, right? But it's real. In the beginning, when you're poor, when you have no results, when your ideas are only dreams, you'll find that support is rare, doubt is everywhere, and loneliness becomes your closest companion. When you start chasing a dream, people don't believe in you. That's normal. They look at where you are, not where you're going. They judge based on what they can see now, not on the future you see in your heart. In the beginning, you'll be misunderstood. People will call you crazy. They'll tell you to be realistic. They'll say, "Why don't you get a safe job?" Or "That idea will never work." These words don't come from strangers only. Often, they come from your closest friends, even your family. It's not because they hate you. It's because they are scared for you or for themselves. They don't see what you see. When I started my journey, nobody believed I would make it. I had no money, no strong background, no connections, nothing. I had only an idea and a stubborn belief that it could work. I walked into rooms where everyone laughed. I pitched ideas and they said, "That's impossible." At some point, you realize something very important. People don't support potential. They support proof. When you have no success yet, you're just another dreamer. You don't get attention. You don't get applause. You walk alone. People only respect results. If you fail 10 times, you'll be remembered as someone who tried and failed. But if you win once, just once, everyone forgets the failures. That's how the world works. It doesn't always seem fair, but it's reality. People celebrate the finish line, not the training. They love the product, not the process. But that's okay. That's not a reason to stop. That's the reason to keep going. When you're in the early stages, you may start questioning yourself. Why don't they support me? Why don't they understand? Don't waste time looking for validation. Don't try to convince everyone. Your job is not to make people believe in your dream. Your job is to build it. Let the results do the talking. Silence the doubt with action. Success is the best speech you can give. The truth is, people want to be associated with winners. It's human nature. That's why you see so many people suddenly appear when you succeed. People who were never around during the hard times. But that's not something to be angry about. Use it as fuel. Understand that you are the one responsible for proving your worth. The world rewards those who persist when no one is watching, who believe when no one else does. You must have the courage to walk alone at first. When you have nothing, focus on building. When no one claps, clap for yourself. When no one believes, believe even more. Your belief must be stronger than their doubt. That's the only way to turn silence into applause, rejection into recognition. Later, when you win, when your idea becomes real, when your work pays off, you'll see how the world changes. The same people who doubted you may suddenly say, "I always knew you could do it." They didn't, but it doesn't matter. You didn't win for their approval. You won because you refused to stop. So if you're in that phase now, if you feel ignored, doubted, unsupported, know this, you're not alone. Every great journey starts with disbelief. Every big dream begins in silence, and that's your moment to build, not break. Let them doubt. Let them watch. One day, they'll see what you saw all along. When you're struggling, people talk. They watch. Some feel sorry for you. Others laugh quietly, and a few even say, "I told you so." That's the world when you have nothing. No money, no results, no success. Everyone becomes a critic. They question your choices, your ideas, even your character. They remind you of what's wrong, but never offer a hand to make it right. You try, and they say you're wasting your time. You fail, and they say you were never good enough. But the moment you win, everything changes. The same people who avoided you suddenly remember your name. They say, "I always believed in you." They show up, not because they supported your journey, but because they want to be near the outcome. Success has that power. It turns silence into noise, absence into attention. You go from being crazy to being brilliant overnight, not because you changed, but because you proved them wrong. People don't clap for effort. They clap for achievement. You can work 20 hours a day, sacrifice sleep, miss birthdays, give your heart to something, and they won't see it. They only see the final moment, the trophy, the headline, the money, the success. That's the part they understand. So when you're struggling, don't be surprised if you're alone. That loneliness is part of the process. It's a test. The world wants to see how badly you want it, how long you'll keep going without applause. Criticism is loud when you're down. People feel smarter pointing out why something won't work than supporting something uncertain. They feel safe being negative. It costs them nothing, but building something, pursuing something, that costs everything. That takes vision, courage, and resilience. And until the outcome is visible, most people won't support it. That's just how it is. Success makes people forget your failures. You can fall 100 times, but if you rise once and win, that's all they will talk about. Or at least pretend they will, because now you're a story worth telling. You're proof that it's possible, and everyone wants to be close to that kind of energy. People love winners, not because they love the person, but because they love what that person represents. Confidence, hope, strength, success. But remember this, don't build just for the applause. Don't work for the cheers. If you do, you'll quit the moment it gets quiet, and it will get quiet. You have to be driven by something deeper, something inside you. When the world is clapping, smile. When it's not, keep going anyway. Because the truth is, people respect what works. They respect what's proven. When you're struggling, they watch. When you win, they cheer. It's the same world, the same people, the same dream, but a different result. That result changes everything. So if you're in the part of your journey where all you hear is doubt, criticism, or nothing at all, keep moving. You don't need applause to make progress. You don't need support to build. Let your results speak for you. Let your success answer every doubt. In the end, you don't have to explain yourself. Success will explain you better than words ever could. When you're chasing a dream, the worst thing you can do is spend your energy trying to get everyone to believe in it. People have their own lives, their own fears, their own doubts. Most won't understand what you're doing until it's done. So don't waste your time begging for their approval. Don't try to make everyone agree with you. That's not your mission. Your mission is to build, to grow, to prove, through action, not words, that your vision is real. If you keep running after people's validation, you'll end up exhausted and directionless. Every time someone says, "That won't work," you'll change your path. Every time someone questions you, you'll pause, and slowly your dream becomes smaller, quieter, until one day it disappears completely. Not because you weren't capable, but because you allowed doubt to become louder than belief. People like to see results. They don't like uncertainty. If they can't see your destination clearly, they won't walk with you. And that's okay. It's not their journey. It's yours. You saw something they didn't. You felt something they couldn't. So while they're waiting for proof, you keep building. While they're asking, "Are you sure?" you keep saying, "Watch me." Your vision must come before friendship, before applause, before approval. In fact, sometimes the people closest to you will be the ones who doubt you the most, not out of hate, but out of fear. They want you to be safe. But dreams are never safe. They are risky. They are uncertain. They require bold decisions and lonely nights. And if you keep trying to please others, you'll never take the risks needed to succeed. Every successful person has a moment where they must walk alone. Not because they want to, but because the path they chose has never been walked before. There's no crowd at the start. There's no cheering when the work is quiet. That's the phase where most people quit, because they feel unseen, unheard, unvalidated. But the ones who stay focused during that phase, they become the leaders. They become the inspiration. The truth is, when you're building something new, something that doesn't yet exist, people will doubt it. They'll question your intelligence. They'll say you're wasting time. And if you stop to explain yourself every time, you'll lose momentum. Let them talk. Let them laugh. Let them say what they want. Your job is not to convert them. Your job is to become undeniable. Once the results come, once your idea becomes something real, then people will understand. Then they'll ask how you did it. Then they'll want to be part of it. But in the beginning, you can't depend on their understanding. You must depend on your own clarity. You must protect your vision, even if nobody else can see it yet. So stop chasing support. Stop needing everyone to like your ideas. Start building. Start proving. The right people will come, not because you begged for their friendship, but because your results attracted their respect. This journey is not about being liked. It's about being committed. It's about choosing progress over popularity. When the dream becomes reality, the applause will come. But first, you must learn to move without it. Believe in the vision, even if you're the only one who does. Especially when you're the only one who does. That's the foundation of greatness. When you start doing something different, something meaningful, you will feel lonely, not because people don't love you, but because they don't understand you, and they can't walk the path for you. The bigger the dream, the lonelier the road. You can have a team, you can have family, you can have friends, but when the pressure is real, when the decisions are heavy, when everything is on the line, you are alone with your thoughts, your fears, and your responsibilities. That loneliness is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're growing, because real growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in silence. It happens when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is there to tell you that you're doing a good job. You have to become your own motivation. You have to learn to keep walking, even when the only sound you hear is your own footsteps. In the early days, when you're building something new, no one really gets it. You'll try to explain, and they'll nod politely, but deep down they think you're wasting your time, and maybe you'll start to wonder the same. That's when loneliness becomes the hardest. Not because you're physically alone, but because you're mentally fighting a battle that no one else can see. You will question yourself. You will doubt your decisions. You'll wonder if it's worth it. You'll miss the normal life, the easy conversations, the predictable path. But if you give in to that, you'll never know what was waiting for you on the other side of discomfort. The people who make it to the top are not the ones who had the most support. They're the ones who kept going when they had none. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with the fact that the world won't understand you yet. Most people only understand success once it's visible. They see the results and then they say, "Wow, that's amazing." But when you're putting in the effort and seeing nothing, when you're sacrificing sleep, stability, and certainty, they don't see that part. And that's where the loneliness really teaches you who you are. Don't run from it. Don't think something is wrong because you feel alone. Some of the most important work you will ever do will happen when no one is watching and no one is helping. That's where you build resilience. That's where you learn to rely on your own belief, not someone else's approval. And when success comes, when the dream starts to take shape, people will show up. They'll want to be part of it. But you will never forget the season where it was just you. The late nights, the doubts, the silence, and that memory will make you stronger, because you'll know you didn't need anyone to start. You just needed the courage to keep going. So if you're feeling lonely right now, don't panic, don't quit. That's exactly where many great things begin. It means you're not following the crowd. It means you're leading yourself. And that's the hardest, but most powerful place to be. Keep walking, keep building, keep believing. The loneliness won't last forever, but what you create in it will. Belief doesn't start with the world, it starts with you. Too many people wait for others to believe in them before they take action. They wait for someone to say, "You're good enough," or "You can do it," as if permission from others is what turns a dream into reality. That mindset is dangerous, because if you only move when others believe in you, then you'll stay stuck forever. The truth is, no one is going to believe in you. Not at first, not until they see results, and sometimes not even then. You have to be your own first supporter. Before anyone claps, you have to clap for yourself. Before anyone invests, you have to invest your own time, your own energy, your own heart. If you don't believe in your dream when it's still small, fragile, and invisible, no one else will. That belief is the foundation. Without it, you have nothing to stand on when things get hard, and they will get hard. When you're building something from nothing, doubt is always louder than encouragement. People around you will ask questions like, "What if it doesn't work? Aren't you scared? Why don't you just do something normal?" Those questions are not always meant to hurt you, but if you let them, they will break your momentum. That's why your internal belief has to be stronger than their external doubt. Your vision has to be clear, even if it's only clear to you. Every time you take a step forward, you'll be tested. Something will go wrong. Someone will say the wrong thing. You'll have days where you don't feel like showing up. But belief doesn't take days off. It doesn't disappear just because the road gets dark. In fact, that's when you need it most. Because when the world turns quiet and you're left with nothing but your effort, your patience, and your discipline, belief is what keeps you going. You don't need people to agree with your dream. You don't need them to understand it. You just need the courage to keep showing up even when it feels like no one's watching. That quiet, consistent action, powered by belief, is what builds momentum. And once you have momentum, people start to notice. Not because you ask them to, but because success makes noise even when you stay silent. There will be moments when you want to quit. Moments when you feel foolish for trying. That's natural, but if you still believe, even in those moments, you will rise again. You'll get up and keep going, not because someone told you to, but because your belief is bigger than your fear. And when the results start to come, when the small wins add up, the same people who doubted you may turn around and say, "I always knew you could do it." But you'll know the truth. It wasn't their belief that got you there. It was your own. You started with nothing but a vision and a decision to believe. That was enough. So don't wait. Don't depend on the world to see your value before you do. Your dream is your responsibility. Your belief is your fuel. If you believe long enough, work hard enough, and stay true to your vision, others will follow. But even if they don't, you'll still be moving forward, because belief doesn't need a crowd, it just needs you. Winning changes everything. The way people look at you, the way they talk to you, the way they treat your ideas. All of it shifts the moment you succeed. When you're struggling, they question your decisions. They whisper behind your back. They doubt your potential. But when you win, suddenly you're a genius. Suddenly the same people who ignored you want to know your secret. That's the power of results. One breakthrough, one victory, and the world starts to listen. In the beginning, no one cares about your plans. They don't see your sleepless nights. They don't notice the sacrifices. You might be working harder than anyone else, but to them, you're still just another dreamer. And that's fine, because results speak a language that opinions never can. You don't have to argue, explain, or convince. You just have to win, and everything else follows. That one win, even a small one, can shift momentum in ways you never imagined. People start returning your calls. They want to be in the room with you. They offer opportunities that weren't there before. Why? Because success attracts attention. It gives you credibility. It turns your story from "why are you doing this?" into "how did you do it?" And in that moment you realize that the world wasn't ignoring you. It was just waiting for proof. You see, people want to be around winners. It makes them feel inspired, safe, and validated. No one wants to bet on something that hasn't shown signs of working. That's human nature, but the danger is this. If you let their early doubt define your value, you'll never make it far enough to prove them wrong. That's why you must keep pushing, even when the world is silent. Especially when the world is silent, because the silence before success is often the loudest test of character. The moment you win, your voice gets louder. Not because you changed, but because results demand attention. The people who once doubted you might start praising you. Some will genuinely admire your persistence. Others will just want to be close to your success. Either way, that win creates a ripple effect. It opens doors that were closed, it gives you leverage, choices, and freedom, but more importantly, it gives you something internal, confidence, not the fake kind that needs approval, but the real kind that comes from knowing you earned it. But don't let that win make you arrogant. Let it remind you of how far you've come and how many kept watching while you struggled. Use that victory as fuel, not as a destination, because one win is never the end. It's just the beginning of another climb, and while success brings attention, it also brings pressure. Expectations grow. People watch closer. You must stay grounded, focused, and humble, even when the spotlight is on you. What matters most is that you remember how it felt before the win, when you were working in silence, doubting yourself, yet choosing to keep going. That mindset, that discipline, is what made the win possible. And it's what will keep you winning, so when the moment of victory comes, embrace it. Let it be proof, not just to others, but to yourself, that everything you went through was worth it. The isolation, the rejection, the silence, it was all part of the process. And now the same world that doubted you will see what belief, effort, and resilience can create. Let the win speak. Let it open doors. Let it tell your story. You don't need to say much when the results are undeniable.